Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 23 Hardcore Mode. We're in Season 6, time for Round 6. We are heading to Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. What a difference a race makes. Really disappointed after Baku. Over the moon following Miami. We got our second win. It was incredible, really, to have two wins this early in our stint at Alfa Romeo. I mean, I'm not really sure. Not really sure how we've managed to pull that off. We've got an okay car. It's not amazing, but it's not horrendous. It's kind of mid-pack in terms of ratings. Our drivers aren't horrendous, but they're not the best. Our staff aren't amazing. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're kind of decent staff, but we don't have like world-class staff. We don't have world-class facilities. And yet somehow we've managed to pull off two wins in the opening 5 races, which is kind of incredible, really. So I wonder how long we can keep this streak of outperforming our position going. You know, can we get more wins by the end of the season? Could we be in contention for solid points here at Imola? I hope so. Both of our cars are now running the new spec, or the most up-to-date spec. So you can see we're both cars on the new Mark III chassis, both running the new Mark II rear wing, which went onto Ollie's car last night and gave him a definite performance boost over Isaac. Of course, we've got the Mark II side pods, the Mark II underfloors. We're still running original January 1st spec front wings and suspensions as well. So there's still plenty of performance to find across the season. You can see we've got a new Mark III underfloor that we just got started, as well as a Mark II front wing. Those are a little way off yet. We've got a new suspension, a Mark II suspension, coming very soon. That will be ready to go into production just before our next race, which will be in Monaco, but won't be ready to go on the car probably until Canada, I think. Maybe get one of them on the car in time for Barcelona. Not sure yet. We shall see. We've got some more spare parts coming through just to try and tide us over until we can get those upgrades on the car. But yeah, we are really doing very well. We still have a lot of stuff to upgrade facility-wise. I mean, we're still just on level 2 for our factory, our design center, our wind tunnel. Our suspension simulator, CFD, and car part test center are all level 3, although we do desperately need to get a refurb in on our suspension simulator at some point. That is not cheap. That's 3 million just to refurb it. On top of that, we also need to upgrade our race sim. That is going to cost us 8 million. Even a refurb on its own is just going to cost us 2, which is quite pricey. We also need to get our team hub up to level 5. That is not cheap. 3.5 just to get it up to level 4. And then I think another 5 million to get it up to level 5 on top of that. So we're looking at 16 million just to sort out these two facilities. And we're not making much money each race. Looking at our operational facilities, we have got our helipad and tour center spitting out as much of a bonus as they can. Our weather center has now just broken to the point where that now needs an upgrade / refurb. I mean, we can go ahead and refurb it, but I think an upgrade might be the smarter choice. But again, it's just on that long list of expenses that we have that we just can't quite get on top of at the moment. You know, we can either improve the facilities or we can improve the car. I don't think we have much in the budget for both. So car is always going to take priority. Speaking of the car, let's see how it looks for tonight's Grand Prix. So speed now 13th on the grid. Our DRS has now shot all the way up to 3rd. 9th in acceleration, which isn't too bad, middle of the pack. We've got very good low, medium and high speed cornering. Dirty air could do with a bit of an improvement. Our cooling definitely needs a bit of an improvement in both brake and engine departments. How far away are we actually? Let's have a look. So compared against the average top speed, we are quite close, not too far away. A little way off the average acceleration, but we know that there are some cars that are significantly above the average. You can see we are above the average on the DRS by a couple of percent. We know that, again, we are significantly above some of the teams, but obviously behind a couple as well. We are looking pretty good on the downforce levels, but if we check the rankings, so you see 3rd, 5th and 7th, not a huge amount of difference between 3rd and the average in the low speed. 5th and the average, there's not a lot of space difference there. And was it 9th? 7th. 7th and the average, again, very small margins. So you don't need a huge amount of performance increase to climb substantially up an individual ranking there. I mean, our brakes are, the worst on the grid, or is it our engine that's worst on the grid? Our brakes are worst on the grid, and yet we are only less than 4% away from the actual average. So it's not like day one, season one, where you're talking like big 10, 15, even 20% gaps. We're talking much smaller margins. So that is, I think, why we are able to capitalize on opportunities to get ourselves into a good point scoring position. Let's see if we can keep that going. How you doing, Victor? It's good to see you tonight. Let's set some targets for Imola. This is our first ATA Grand Prix this weekend. The incentive is to get both into Q3. We might be able to do it, but I'm glad it's not the guarantee. We're going to guarantee both in the top 12 tonight, I think, both into Q2. Fastest lap is the incentive. In terms of finish position, I'm going to go 2 in the top 12. Give us a little bit of wiggle room on that one. And then we've got our very conservative streaks, just to try and make sure that we do actually get money out of those and don't suffer from a difficult race. And with that, I think we are now ready to head to Imola.
Welcome along to Italy, and welcome along to Imola. Just outside Bologna in northern Italy, Imola hosts the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, named after the region it sits in. Surrounded by woodland, this iconic track is rich with Formula One history and the legends of those who raced here. And it's an old school track with plenty of elevation changes and lots of corners. There's only one DRS zone here, but it follows the long straight right before Tamburello and should see plenty of action. Alfa Romeo took the win in the last race, and their competitors won't be wasting any time in applying the pressure here this weekend. Stay with us then as the weekend gets underway.
So then, let's get our cars prepped quickly. In terms of car parts, we're going to make some changes, as we always do. We can still get a little bit of life out of that Mark 1 engine, that first engine. Same with the first ERS units. Although gearbox, I'm not so sure. Yes, we can use that gearbox. There we go. For Imola, we want 20 laps for a FP1 run. And let's go with a 7, 12.5, 4.6, 3.5, and a 0.05. There we go. Isaac's car is done. Moving on to Ollie's car. Which again, we're going to put out the practice parts. Okay. 20 laps of fuel. Drop those pace settings down, and let's go with a 6.5, a 13, a 5.5, a 3.5, and a 0. And send them out. Okay, off they go. So in case you missed it, we will be recapping the Frontier Unlocked F1 Manager 24 portion of the Frontier Unlocked live stream from earlier this evening. That is available also now to watch on YouTube. It is a 16-minute video. I watched it live on Twitch, and I have also watched the 16-minute video on YouTube afterwards as a refresher just before I went live. And we will talk about that, but we'll wait until a little bit later, probably FP2, before we start talking about that, just to give a couple more people a chance to join us here in the chat. Evening, Dino. How are you tonight? Okay, getting close to feedback for our drivers.
Giving
84%, that is not bad.
Yeah, copy that.
Definitely room for improvement. We're probably looking at a 12.5 rear wing instead of a 13 there for Ollie. Might have to change the roll bar as well. And 84% for Isaac. Now they are both identically far apart. So that means that the setups we have might be right, but on the wrong car. So we'll try swapping them over and see if that works. If it does, bonus. Very rare that happens, but it has happened to me a couple of times before, where you get two cars on different setups, identical percentage difference away. Sometimes it's just a case of swapping them over, and there you go. They both find the exact percentage that they need, and they're there. Not very often, though. More often than not, it just means that setup might be right on one car, but it doesn't mean it's definitely going to be right on the other car. It might be something completely different. So we'll try putting Ollie's setup onto Isaac and have a look at how the sliders are doing. And if it looks like that's going to work, we'll then go with that, and then we'll try putting Isaac's setup onto Ollie's car and see again how the sliders are looking. And if it looks like it'll work, we'll send them out. But if not, we'll have to try something a little different. It's Ollie in first. So we do have an optimal to work with. So let's see, I went with 7, 12, 5, 4, 6, 3.5 and a 0.05. And everything looks to be where it needs to be. Now let's do Isaac. So this wants to be a 6.5, a 13. Again, we've got that optimal there as a working point. Make that a 5.5, a 3.5, and a 0. And again, everything looks to be about right. So I think that's it. I think it was literally the right setups on the wrong cars. We'll find out for sure in a minute, for a few minutes, but it's only happened to me twice before, I think. And I don't know if it's ever happened on camera. Maybe once. And I'd like to think it was when we were with Romeo on the previous game. While we're waiting for that feedback, let's take a look at the rest of the grid. So, bad engine, bad gearbox for Russell. Max having a little issue there. Stroll with a bad engine. Norris with a bad engine. Ocon bad engine and gearbox. Max with a brand new engine in the car tonight. Old parts for Leclerc. His gearbox and engine are both going to go yellow before the end of the weekend, probably before the end of practice. Belichak's is in decent shape. Joe's got a bad gearbox. Sainz has bad engine and gearbox. Yuki is in okay shape. Magnussen's in rough shape. Giovinazzi's engine's in very rough shape. There we see Maloney's engine's just ticked over and his gearbox is about to go that way as well. Porsche already there. Schumacher in pretty good shape. You know, strong engine, gearbox and ERS there. Oscar, similar shape. Albon looking pretty rough there. Gasly looking in pretty good condition. So there's not that many cars in good racing condition tonight, engine-wise. That's going to go in our favour as well. We've got our feedback. Let's see if I was right. Both drivers have gone optimal. Oh, look at that. We were 0.05 off on the toe on one of them. But yeah, we swapped the setups and it worked. So yeah, I like that. I like that. I think we just probably have to push Isaac's toe down to 0. Oh no, wait. Isaac needs to go up 0.05. Okay. We can do that. There we go. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Very productive practice session. Both cars already exactly where they need to be. Hopefully we can get our track knowledge, well, not our track, no, sorry, our car part knowledge all the way up to 100 over this practice session, this practice weekend as well. That'll be good. So this could be the first race all season where we actually have a full 100% confidence rating for both of our drivers. Still got plenty of life in those parts there. We're going to run for 32 laps. start talking about F1 Manager 24. So, we already know about Creator Team. We saw that last month at the previous Unlock stream. Tonight, we got a good look at some other bits and bobs, and let's have a quick look at those. So, first thing they covered was new textures for the circuits. They have added in a lot more detail, better textures for a lot of the racing surfaces, not just the track, but the gravel, the grass, the tarmac. The lighting inside the garages looks a lot nicer. We're actually seeing much better looking grass. I think doesn't look so flat from distance. We're going to have the introduction of racing lines on the tracks in terms of, you know, where the rubber is on the track, and including little bits of marbles, you know, that little bit of stuff that flies off the tyres as they break down through use. Will appear off the racing lines in some of the braking zones as well. I don't know if it'll be there all the way across, and I think that's probably just going to be cosmetic. I can't see that being something that's going to make the, you know, the off-track, the offline racing slippier. It'd be great if that was the case, but I think it's purely just going to be cosmetic. But it does look good in that respect from the screenshots that they showed. The track level of detail does look a lot nicer, more realistic, and it's nice to see, you know, a slightly more consistent and accurate racing line. I think that's just going to be there permanently. I don't think that's going to be something that rubbers in throughout the weekend. Again, I think it's just a cosmetic thing rather than something that's actually going to improve the grip. It's going to be like a permanent thing on the track. But even that just helps build the immersion a little bit more, I think. So I'm all for that. It's really nice to see that. We are going to have 2 new driver head models added in to the next game. Well, at least 2 that they've announced. I mean, it's possible there may be more, but I somehow think there probably won't be more than 2, which is a bit of a shame. They really needed to flesh out more of the F2 roster, but they're only adding in 2 driver heads. They're adding in Teo Pourchaire and Liam Lawson. Those are the 2 head models that they showed. They did not allude to the fact that there might be more being added. They just said 2 repeatedly when referring back to it, that they were adding 2 new driver head models. So that's a shame. It would have been nice to have head models for drivers like Doohan, for Behrman, for Hajar. Behrman especially, since we've seen him in a car this year. Would have been really good to see him, because you know everyone's going to be signing Behrman in the new game, and of course they're not going to have a head model, so there's going to be no podium celebration. Would have been really nice to have an Ollie Behrman head model added in as well. Drivers like Vesti, Isaac Jar, Jack Doohan, you know, up and coming drivers, Zane Maloney, who's doing really well in this year's F2. Having his head model in the game. You know, the drivers that generally tend to find their way up anyway across multiple seasons of this game, or, you know, or our favourites with the fans. It would have been nice to have a bigger library of lower Formula driver head models added in to preserve the podium a bit longer, but we can't complain too much, I suppose. I mean, they are adding in a couple more. Would be nice, though, if they do flesh that out a bit more going forward. Hope they maybe add in an Ollie Behrman head later in the year as part of a patch. That would be nice. There's going to be changes in the pit lane as well. So we will actually see your pit crew or your pit lane starting position, your pit lane position in the in the pit lane. Your team position in the pit lane will change now every season based on where you finish, just like it does in real life. So the better you do, the closer to the front of the pit lane where the cars first pull in, you'll get. And obviously, the worse you do, the further towards the exit of the pit lane you'll be pushed back. Typically, the teams at the front have a much easier time getting into their pit box because they can come in at a much shallower angle, especially when the track is crowded or the pit lane's crowded. So in reality, it really does pay to be as close to the entrance to the pit lane as you can be for that reason. And also, generally the facilities in the garages for the top teams, the teams that are like first, second, third, they're usually slightly bigger than all the way down the bottom. All the way down the bottom is usually where the garages are a little bit smaller, so you've got less space for all your team equipment and stuff. So it can, in real life, have quite a significant impact where you are positioned in the pit lane, and it's really good to see that they are finally adding that feature in. That's something that a lot of people have been clamoring for. I wanted that in there, but it wasn't high on my list of requirements. There were other things I wanted to see first. But I'm glad that they are adding that in. You will also be able to simulate races this year. That's something else that they're adding in. So, just how we can simulate practice, we can simulate qualifying, but you couldn't simulate a race this year in the new game that's coming. You will be able to simulate races. So this will allow you to do all your backstage stuff as normal in the build-up to a Grand Prix. You can sim through practice, you can sim through qualifying, then you can sim through the race and go straight back to the backstage stuff. So if in that first 2 seasons, 3 seasons, or if you just want to advance time half a dozen years, 4, 5, 6 years, just to try and get to a point where I want to do a Ferrari playthrough, but I don't want to do a day one Ferrari playthrough because I don't want the team to be amazing. I don't want to have the driver lineup there. I want them to maybe slip down the order a bit so I can build them back up, or you can simulate through the first few seasons much faster now by not having to run the race. Even if running it at times 16, that still takes up quite a while. You can now just press a button and it's done. So that's not something that I really care about. It's a useful thing to have, to be able to skip time a little bit quicker. But I mean, me, I like to run the races at real time. So this simulate a race option, it's not really something that I'll probably use that much. But maybe for my own personal playthrough in behind the scenes, I might skip forward half a dozen years or so and then pick a team from that point. I don't know. I'll probably just be running one of my own personal team, who knows. So that is something that's being added in as well. That's going to go down quite well, I think. And then the other big thing that they went through was the new mentality system. And it's not just driver mentality, it's everybody's mentality. So this is going to kind of completely overhaul / replace the current sort of morale system, which doesn't really do anything, other than have a minimal effect on contract signing. It's about the only thing it really affects, and so that's being completely overhauled and replaced. And the new mentality system is going to be kind of split into 3 separate areas. So there's going to be a focus on the mentality itself will be made up on 3 different areas. And they will be how that individual person is feeling about their own personal situation, how they're feeling about the team's performance, and how they're feeling about the performance of management, i.e. you, how you're doing. So there's definitely going to be some new systems to kind of get to grips with. Mentality will not just affect, the likelihood of them signing a contract with you, but it could affect their performance in qualifying, in racing. It can affect harmony with maybe their engineer, with their teammate. So you will now get situations where you can have a rivalry building between your own teammates, where if you're showing favour to one driver over the other driver is going to say, "Oi, what about me? Don't forget about me. I drive for this team too. Show me some love." And I like that. We can kind of hint, like we have done, that there's a Rosberg-Hamilton situation brewing. If our drivers hit each other more than once in a season, but in reality, it happened. It doesn't affect the team in any way apart from a big repair bill. The drivers still interact exactly the same way with each other. There's no animosity that builds. Now we might get that. So that will be interesting to see. Also, how a driver is performing against their teammate. If they are being outperformed consistently, depending on the driver, that can have a really negative effect to their mentality. So, for example, Max and Checo. If Max is consistently being outperformed by Checo, Max's mentality is going to take a massive hit, because Max wants to be at the front always, and so if he's not, he's going to get miserable, he's going to get arsey, he's going to get grumpy. Checo, not so much, because Checo is used to playing second fiddle to Max, so him being at the front on a consistent basis is going to do massive wonders for his mentality. But being behind Max is probably going to be okay. Not going to have a massive detrimental effect to his confidence or anything like that. So I'm really, really excited to get my hands on the new game with everything that we've seen so far. And there's more stuff to come. They've said that there are more things to show off. We know that there's a new helicopter cam that is coming in the new game. I think we saw just a brief snippet of that in the launch or the announced trailer that they dropped just over a month ago. We'll probably see that in a bit more detail. They're going to show us at some point, I think, the livery and overall tools that are used to create your own custom team livery and colour scheme and everything like that. There might be a deep dive into those features at some point, beyond having just told us about them. They might actually show us how to use them in an upcoming stream. We're still going to have a look at how random failures are going to work. So this next game feels like a huge step forward, and I'm really excited to get my hands on it. It's going to be a definite step forward, and I can't wait for more information. What about you guys? What are you most excited about in the new game that they've announced so far? Well, let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay, or in the chat if you're watching live. Dino says they should really try and add as many F2 drivers as possible with how likely their promotion is. Yeah, I agree. I can also kind of understand why they haven't to a point, because with the new gen stuff, unless you've got a new gen head model, then you're going to get new gen drivers on the grid after X amount of years anyway. But even so, I would like to see, even if they're less accurate, I'd like to see, they don't have to be insanely detailed for things like some of the early F2 drivers, the younger F2 drivers, or maybe the F3 drivers. It makes sense for certain drivers to have intensely detailed head models, But, you know, we'll see. Like I said, one of the things I hope they add is more. Let's send them back out just to get that car park knowledge up. I'd like to see a little bit more audio from lower formula drivers, lower formula engineers added into the game. So that we don't just get, it was like a running joke that you just, in the first game, you had a few F2 drivers that had a little bit of audio, and it was basically copy, and just different voices saying copy. It'd be nice to have a little bit more in-depth audio, and they've got multiple seasons of F2 that they can pick some of that from, if maybe not necessarily for the drivers, but certainly for the engineers. So it'd be really nice to see some more of that added in. Still don't know whether they're going to do live timings. I doubt it. It'd be really nice. Live timings is kind of, that would just tip it over the edge for me. It would be fantastic to have live timings added in, but I don't think we're going to get that this year. In terms of better quality, I mean, that is down to the original source recordings. So the F2 teams don't use the same level of equipment that the F1 teams use for financial reasons, obviously. They don't have the budgets of the F1 teams. So radio communication equipment is going to be of a higher quality to a degree. When talking F1, all of the audio is coming from F2 for Poe Rivera and Ollie Behrman. I don't think there's any, they certainly won't have added in audio from this year's outing in Saudi Arabia into the game. Maybe next year we'll get some Saudi lines in there. Evening, Antonio. Again, it depends on where that audio's come from. Porsche's done quite a lot of FP1 tests and young driver tests with Sauber in the past. So it may well be that that's where they took that audio from, because he doesn't have a huge library of audio either. So there might be some from F2, but I think it might be just taken from the Formula One young driver tests, which means he'll be using Formula One equipment rather than F2 equipment. And sometimes the radio will just sound different from year to year. The radio this year sounds very different to the radio that we had last year. So it's authentic based on where it's come from. It's just where it's come from. What year and what formula or what event. Even race to race, the audio can sound different. The audio in China sounded very different on the radio this year compared to what we've heard in the past. Why is that showing 99%? It should be 100. That's so annoying. Okay, well, we've got our drivers effectively to 100%. I don't know why it took that last 1% away from me. I'm not pleased about that, but never mind. Let's get ready for qualifying.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
This weekend, we're running on alternative tyre allocation rules, meaning teams will be constrained by the tyre compounds they can use for each period of qualifying. It's obvious that they're feeling confident today, and that's sure to be an advantage. I'm keen to see what they'll manage here.
You're going to want to join us for this, folks, so fasten your seatbelts.
Okay then. ATA rules means we have to run the hards in Q1. I'm going to run 3 laps, 2 flying laps and a cooldown lap. And try and switch the drivers over so that we can swap the slipstream for them. I think I'm going to continue running that ERS unit this weekend. Given the number of cars that are running yellow parts this weekend, I think we can get away with running an ERS into the yellow during the race itself. Engine will be fine, obviously, and the gearbox will be fine, so yeah, we can get away with that. So 2 flying laps with a cooldown in between. There we go. Send them out for the first session. Antonio's absolutely buzzing for the 2024 game. Yeah, me too. I can't wait. Cannot wait to get my hands on that. From everything that we've seen so far and what's still to come in terms of like engine reliability, etc., random faults, I'm definitely really, really excited to get my hands on the new game.
Okay, mate, just try to work as much as you can on tires, as much as you can on tires.
Copy.
Joe making his way onto the track, no one else out yet. I'm worried as always that we're about to get a car pop out just as we're about to start the flying lap. I think we'll be alright though. Joe's got a fair bit of a lead on us, so we might not even catch him.
Go for it.
We're going to get a clean run on this lap. Then we'll have a cool down, try and swap the driver positions. Not quite close enough with Behrman to get the full benefit at the moment. Maybe he'll close up as the lap continues. We've got Joe and Maloney coming out of the pits now. And Behrman is definitely quicker. He's definitely closing the gap as well. You can see that visually on the screen now. Leclerc also making his way out. see what opening times we can pop in. So 0.4 of a second the difference. Let's see if they will naturally swap over. They might be a little too far apart for that. We might have to engineer that ourselves towards the end of the lap. And our time is a 1:12.7. No idea how good that is yet. We'll wait for someone else to set a time. Leclerc will be the real sort of benchmark for us in this early stage. Or maybe Zhou, actually, for that matter. He's been quick in the last few Grand Prix. No, he's not close enough. Hopefully you can close up. All right, well, we're going to
Try to pick up a bit more pace. Copy.
slow Behrman down a little bit on this lap. Because this is not about Behrman improving. A little bit of a lift, but got through relatively unscathed there. This is more about making sure that we can get the slipstream for Isaac. There we go. Now he's close enough. And Hajar has closed up nicely. Evening refill. So Leclerc was the true benchmark time to pay attention to in these early stages, and we are fractionally above and fractionally behind. That's good. That should be enough for us to get through without having to go again. Behrman could have gone quicker, possibly, on that second run had we not deliberately handicapped him to make sure that Isaac got the toe that he needed.
To the box.
There we go. So, who is yet to set a quick lap that we need to pay attention to? Let's see what George Russell does. Had a bit of a disappointing qualifying in Miami. Still waiting for Verstappen to make his way out. Norris is just starting his flying lap now as well. Ocon is on a cool-down lap. Gasly's off the pace tonight. Max finally making his way out. It's looking like a pretty handy lap for George. There goes P9. So let's speed time up again because we're not likely to go out for another run. See what Max does across the line. Just going to move the benchmark up a bit. Schumacher goes 4th. Oscar's down in 12th right now. Max goes 6th. So we'll speed up towards the end of the run, or the end of the session. Pay attention to Oscar, because he's not safe. He's right on the bubble right now. He starts his flying lap. Has he got enough left in the tyres? He's now out unless he can find something on this lap. A little bit of traffic to contend with, but I think he was able to get through those opening corners without any major issue. He is up in the first sector. Max now goes top. Schumacher's on a good lap as well. Getting a big slipstream, which may work against him in the end of the lap. He goes 3rd. Oscar's improving. Stroll looks like he might be going out. Ocon and Russell are both in danger. If Gasly can pull something out. Gasly goes through up into 5th place, so Ocon's out. Oscar goes up to 6th, so George Russell is out. Stroll has not improved yet. Are both Ferraris going out in Q1 again? Yes, they are. And both Williams as well. So Ferrari in real trouble. Maybe we'll be getting to go to Ferrari next season after all, if they have a really bad year and our rating goes up again. Ocon out as well. That's a little bit of a surprise. Belajac's actually managed to make it through. So Q2, and it's the medium tyre. Once again, we're going to go 2 flying laps with a cool down in between. And hope that that's going to be good enough.
Working on those brakes and tires. Yeah, I copy.
They are a little bit closer than I would like. So let's try switching them over. Let's see if that creates the separation that we need to make the slipstream effective. There we go, it's a healthier gap to have. Now we've got space for Behrman to actually close up rather than already, having a car on his gearbox. There's room to close. Which is what you need if you're going to do a slipstream qualifying. Can't send them out nose to tail. Otherwise, the car behind's not really getting any real benefit. If anything, it's getting compromised slightly. We are going to have an Aston to get past. And that will be Alex Albon. The question now is, where are we going to catch him? Now you can see that that gap has visually closed up between the two drivers. And if they didn't have that opening space, Behrman would now be having nowhere to close and eat up more of that gap and go much quicker. Not the not the best of language used there, but you get my meaning. I forgot to turn that off as we came out of the final turn. So once again, we're going to have to manipulate a little bit to swap them over. 1:12.3, pretty good lap. What, 4/10 quicker than we did in Q1. And we've made that gap way too big. Did that at just the wrong point on the track, unfortunately. So again, this is not going to be about improving Behrman. This is going to be about improving Isaac. And I forgot to turn his ERS on. Whoops.
Okay, we need to push a bit more.
Copy. We shouldn't run out of ERS this time, like we did on the previous run. Purple middle sector for Isaac should get a very good final sector as well. And there we go. Let's close the gap up significantly. That should hopefully be enough. Just looking to get through, not looking to top the board here. see, Schumacher on an outlap. Here comes Oscar. This is starting a flying lap, or is this finishing a flying lap? It's starting. Haas diving out of the way there. And Oscar goes P2. Schumacher might have had a little bit of a hold up there towards the end of the second sector. It's good enough for P5. That should be enough to get him through. That's a good time from Belajax. He was pretty close to the back of Schumacher, so he maybe benefited from some slipstream there. So everyone going out on their outlaps. See, can Schumacher improve? It's very fine margins actually when you look at it. Between going out and staying in. And that's an awful lot of traffic that Mick's going to have to get his way through if he wants to find an improvement on this lap. He's not improved in the first sector. I think Mick might just get away with this actually. He might even get a little bit of a slipstream at the end of the lap. But with so many cars so close together, someone's going to be getting a huge boost. And we finally see someone coming out the pits. Who is that? No, it's not Albon. Who is that coming out the pits? Is it Sonoda? No. Oh, I thought there must be someone going in the pits. I was going to say, now is not the time to come out with 1:20 on the clock. All right, Norris is potentially on for a pretty nice little slipstream off the back of a Red Bull here. He needs it. He desperately needs it. So Max goes top. That puts Norris into P5. Pourchaire crosses the line. So we're just waiting on Albon, who's just starting his flying lap and just made it across the line before the flag dropped. And Albon. So Schumacher is safe. But Belajax and Zhou are not. just needs an improvement from Albon and Tsunoda for both of them to go out. Joe has crossed the line and has finished in 10th, not improved enough. Yuki's out. So Zhou is not quite safe yet. Belichaks is safe. It's all now down to Alex Albon, who is on a personal best. His teammate gets out of the way. And it was Gasly, he just went flying past there. Can Albon do it? Can he knock out Zhou? No, he can't. He gets in front of Tsunoda. But both Astons are out, both Alpines are out, and Maloney is out. Both Mercedes are in the top 10. It's been a long time since we've seen that. So time for the all-important final qualifying. Once again, we're going to do 2 flying laps. Try and switch them over. Can we get a car onto the front row? Oh, we've got a McLaren nipping out in front of us. Oh, this is really handy. This means both of our drivers are going to get a slipstream on the first run.
Work as much as you can on brakes and tires.
Copy.
So Norris is going to do us a big favour here. Kind of wish I was only doing 1 flying lap now. Hopefully we can clear that Red Bull
Clear ahead.
before he exits the pits. Just. Behrman might struggle to keep up with the Jar here. Jar has got the edge in the first sector thanks to being closer to Norris than Behrman is to Hajar. And he's only going to get closer and closer as the lap progresses. Behrman not close enough to really capitalise here, so we'll have to keep him behind Hajar for the second run. It's going to be a mighty first lap for Isaac. Ah, damn it. Look at the difference there. Isaac was a second faster than Norris. Pourchaire moves up into second place. Just a fraction ahead of Ollie there. I think we're still close enough. Norris is going to dive out of the way as we get towards the end of the lap. So I think we don't have to do anything. I think we can probably just leave them as they are. Hope we can leave them as they are. So any moment now, Norris should move out the way. Oh no! We got pulled over for the Ferrari. And now we've lost that slipstream completely.
Could be a bit of traffic there.
Ah, that's a pain. All right, well, Behrman should improve. I don't know if Isaac will, but it won't be a massive improvement for Behrman. So we might need to run again. We're actually potentially going to give a slipstream to Piastri here. No improvement from Isaac, not that surprising. Ollie has improved, but I don't know by how much. This could be a potential pole lap for Oscar here. Not quite. There's 13,000 of a second slower than Hajar, but definitely got a nice little tow from us there. So we are going to do one more run, a one-lap run on a brand new set of tyres. I'm going to try and do the one-stop strategy, mediums to softs this weekend. Should be able to make that work. Max is opening lap a long way off the pace. We must have held him up as he was coming through. Leclerc goes P3. So it's not looking good for Norris and Belajac. Expect Verstappen to jump right up the order when he has a clean run, if he has a clean run. I have no problem with him getting held up again and starting from 10th. There we go, Isaac is ready. Behrman is ready. Now we just need to pick our moment. We're going to pick it now. Try and get a slipstream off the back of Max. See if we can get both cars boosted. Can we sneak pole position?
Work on those brakes.
Yeah, understood.
Behrman is pretty much the perfect distance behind Isaac right now. It's Norris behind us. He also is on an outlap, so I'm going to worry about him getting out the way for us. Yeah. Max was caught in a very favourable position, so didn't lose that much time. So we've lost the chance of a slipstream off the back of Max, but we are now perfectly positioned to give a nice slipstream here to Ollie. So the question now is, where are we going to catch Belajac? No, not Belajax. Joe. It was Joe who pulled us over. Belajax is just coming out of the pits now. There he is. Let's turn that off just in case Hajar has a mistake. And it's a purple first sector for Ollie. That is very encouraging. Doesn't look like we were compromised there. That's good. Can we lock out the front row? Isaac's not improving, but I'm not surprised. Oh, Max goes quickest. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. We're going to take pole. 1:11.7. As Mick moves out of the way for Oscar.
We're P1 at the moment.
Oscar stays in P4. Now it's Schumacher's turn. Will he be held up here in the opening sectors? No. Leclerc has started his flying lap. He will be the last person to cross the line. Belajac's coming up to the final corners. He's going to be compromised behind us, I think, possibly. He stays last. What about Schumacher? Mick stays in ninth. Wow. And now here comes Charles Leclerc. Can he improve and find the front row? No, he can't. So, Behrman on pole from Max. Hajar in third from Oscar in fourth. Leclerc will be fifth ahead of Teo Pourchaire. Then it's Lando, Joe, Mick and Belijax round out the top 10. Any penalties? No penalties for this race.
It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
Imola can really reward consistency, as Nigel Mansell showed here in 1992 when he became the first driver to ever win the opening 5 Grand Prix of a season.
So Karun, how do you think the Alfa Romeo driver is going to be feeling going into this race?
You know what, Crofty? They're performing well above what's been expected of them so far. All in all, not a bad place to be.
And seeing it all come together is sure to be a thrill. An exciting race ahead for us here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
All right, we've got clouds, which means that will help keep tyre temps down a little bit. We're not going to go for a guarantee. We are going to leave as is, but so far we're looking good. We've nailed the qualifying section of the sponsorship. Fastest lap is worth a nice little bit of cash if we can get it. We said we get 2 in the top 12. We should easily do that based on where we're starting. But how often do things go smoothly? It's just a question if I go that way or go the other way. I'm going to go this way, just in case there's an early safety car. We can flip this and turn it into a medium soft. So let's just program that in. Have to be really careful in the opening stint. I am wondering whether I should flip it, or at least one of the drivers. Yeah, we'll do that. We're going to put in 2 extra laps of fuel. And let's try not to push the tyres, because we need to make them last if we're one stopping. Give this a go.
Here in Imola, the drivers are ready to take on the 63 laps of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. The Alfa Romeo driver knows this could be a good chance to prove themselves.
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
And the time has come. Let's go racing. This is it, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix.
Max also starting on softs, Oscar on mediums. That's not a good start from Behrman. It is a great start from Isaac. Do not fight. And Leclerc dives up the inside of Oscar. He's on those soft tyres, so not surprising there. Can we keep him back? Oh, and Oscar lunges back on us on Charles there. Very feisty behind us. Oh, and there's a crash. Oh, there's another crash.
That's
Oh, wow.
not looking good for Charles Leclerc. Now we should be able to take a look here.
I heard
let's
another
pick this up
impact.
as we go into turn 14.
Was it a lockup? No, just a really bad crunch.
Quite clear. I imagine their
I heard
confidence
another
will have taken
crunch
a
further
knock.
down the order as well. That's taken some pressure off us straight away.
Now we've got an incident here, and as I understand it, George Russell's involved.
Yeah, I thought Russell was hit
Now
somewhere.
we see this was at turn 15.
No.
Dangerously close to each
Coming
other.
through the corner, he
And
had
there,
contact
the
with
cars make contact.
Gasly. So we are running second and third right now. Ollie is going to need to up his pace. If we want to try and stay with Max, although I don't know if we can actually manage that. Under pressure as well from Oscar. No penalties. Racing incident. Isaac has dropped behind Piastri. We'll let him go. Start saving those tyres. And we're going to do the same here as well. We're going to let Max go. I don't think we've got the pace.
I need to overpush it.
We want to make sure that our strategy works. So we kind of need Oscar to get through and then stick with Oscar, I think. So, has Leclerc got any damage? Oh, he's got rear wing damage, which means no DRS for him. He's still very quick. But he won't have DRS on the straights, so that will hurt him. His tyres took damage as well, as did Zhou's tyres. I think he's got some front wing damage on the right side. Oh no, his front wing looks okay. He might have just started on scrubs then. Norris not looking great in terms of tyre life, but his wing looks okay. Porsche was involved, wasn't it? Let's have a look at Porsche's car. Oh yeah, he's missing an end plate. His tyres aren't looking great either. We've got another yellow flag. Oh, did someone hit Behrman?
Alright.
I'm okay.
As they slow for Variante
Oscar.
Alta, pushing a bit
Oscar
too
hit me.
hard at this point. Has to be said.
Oh,
was
is that
pretty
wing
risky.
damage?
Now their confidence will have taken a hit with that.
I think we got away with that in terms of wing damage.
And look at the...
That'll be a racing incident. Well, it should be a racing incident. I doubt Piastri will get a penalty. We might get a penalty. You know how the game loves to mess with us in that respect. No penalty. Oscar's tyres might have lost a touch, but it's hard to tell. They might have just worn because he's pushed them. Joe did get past Leclerc, because Leclerc was vulnerable to the DRS on the main straight, and he won't be able to fight back. One, because of his wing. Two, he's out of range. I'll try and save a little bit of extra tyre here. Also, I want to try and get Isaac back onto Behrman and Piastri. There we go. I do wonder how race confidence is going to work in the next instalment. I mean, if mentality, the new thing that's coming in, is going to underpin a lot of stuff in the new game. It's going to be interesting to see if it's, I know it's an out and out replacement for the morale system, and it's going to obviously have quite big ramifications for a lot of stuff. Another crash at that chicane.
Yes, we have. We've had a crash.
What is going on with the AI today? And it's Leclerc having a coming together with one of the Mercedes. That's some wing damage for the Mercedes. Is it Belajac's? It is. So Belajac's now will have damage. Leclerc just dropping down the order with that damaged rear wing. But I'm wondering if mentality is going to have interplay with confidence, or if they're going to completely overhaul the way the confidence system works. It definitely needs refinement if it's going to stay in place untouched. It needs to have some refinement to it. But if they're going to change the way confidence works and interlock it into mentality, that could make things interesting. Evening, Adrian. What did you miss? A pretty good qualifying for us. He started on pole, but Max is just so quick. We're going for a one-stop strategy as opposed to a two-stop. So that's why we're in tyre conservation mode. And the AI is going crazy and just collision after collision after collision with themselves tonight, which suits us. The rear wings have definitely made a big impact on our car's performance. the next round of upgrades, I'm hoping, will be a significant improvement as well. The new underfloor, the new suspension, definitely the new front wing are all going to add significant improvements to our car. But we're looking good for a potential podium. The jar might get overtaken on this lap.
We need to start getting a little bit quicker.
Copy.
Come on.
Copy.
And Joe has got through. It's to be expected, given that we are running low tyre wear for Isaac. And Joe's on softs. But we should get that place back. He's not committing to the overtake, although Isaac is. Couldn't quite get through. We'll have to give him a little bit more tyre, otherwise he's not going to get this move done.
Copy.
And Hajar has got through. Nice.
Here's the
We
replay.
missed that.
Now
Let's
this was the Alfa Romeo.
see where he got him.
The opportunity's there. Then the Alfa Romeo moves past.
Beautiful. Then use the battery to deploy out of Aqua Minerale. Come on, Ollie. There we go. This time he'll get the move done. We were definitely getting held up. Not pulling away at the rate I was hoping he would. Try and break that toe in the next couple of corners.
Push, push.
Copy.
Don't know if we did enough. I don't think we did. No, we didn't.
You're faster on track.
Did set the new fastest lap though. And we took a good chunk of time out of Max as well. 2 seconds. Oscar's responding. I think he's picking his pace up. Trying to break him with the out of battery any moment. Need to turn these tyres down soon. Turn them down a little bit now.
Okay, go over, push it.
Copy.
And we've done enough. For now.
So let's pick up the pace.
Copy.
Oscar's going to get back in range because we've slowed Ollie's pace down. Let's see if we can put Oscar under some pressure. They can go defensively. Yeah, good lad. So now we've got a bit of a rear gunner for Ollie. There will come a point where Ollie's tyres will be slower than Isaac's. And when that happens, we can switch him over and then we can keep Ollie running at a quicker pace than he could normally do on ailing soft tyres against mediums. But for now, quite content to leave our drivers like this. We're only 3 seconds off of Max. And we're lapping about the same kind of pace. Tyre wear for both slightly below where I'd like it to be. Okay for Isaac, he's got a little bit more wiggle room, but not quite so much. Let's try and build up a little bit more saving for Isaac here. Much better shape than Oscar's tyres. probably going to have to switch them over in a couple of laps. Yeah, especially given the confidence level situation. We'll engineer that move in a minute. It's tricky trying to do this with a team order pullover, given how close Oscar is. So we might just have to let them overtake each other naturally and then try and pop in the team order halfway through the move so it doesn't affect driver confidence. There we go. Ah, that worked out beautifully. So let's do a bit more tyre saving. Start rebuilding Ollie's battery. And let Hajar do the heavy lifting for a little while. So, where is Charles Leclerc? He is now down in 9th place. Lapping in the 118s. He's getting a nice slipstream, but he doesn't have the DRS, so he's going to struggle to make overtakes. And we'll see that here as he has a look at Maloney. I don't know if he'll be able to actually get the move done unless he's using a significant amount of battery. He closed maybe a 10th, if that, on the back straight, on the main straight there. No DRS has ruined his race. He might struggle to finish in the points tonight. We've got a little bit of a procession here. Norris has joined the queue. Schumacher in 7th is 6 seconds back. What's he doing pace-wise? 1:17.9 is not quick. Norris has really pushed to get onto this queue. See, we've got nice, significant tyre life advantage now over Verstappen and Zhou. I'm curious as to what strategy they're going to go on for. Are they going to go two-stop? Are they going to go one stop onto hards? We will find out in a few laps. Tyre life now exactly where we need it to be on our drivers. Behrman's battery is full. We are going to let him try and retake the position on the main straight. Evening, Clark. There we go. Move complete. Don't fight teammates. Turn down the fuel burn. Turn down the tyres. Start to push a little bit. See if we can close that gap to Max. And maybe drop Joe and Norris in the process. Charles Leclerc has pitted for hard tyres, so that's going to be him potentially to the end. Max might be in at the end of this lap. Same with Joe and Yuki and Magnussen. Max has stayed out, but he's upped his pace, so he is going to be boxing soon. 1:16.2. It's a quick lap. Joe has decided to get rid of these softs. He's going to go hard. He is. That might be him to the end. A decent stop. If we take a look at the predicted strategies, a one stop between laps 21 and 27 is indicative of a one stop, which is where we are. And we have now reached a point where we need Isaac to be in front. Porsche pits, his race ruined, unfortunately, as well. someone just boxed behind us. That was Max. Max has boxed. As did Norris, Schumacher and Tsunoda. That is hard tyres, and it's probably to the end. Where is Max? He's out in 8th place. Sainz is going to jump out of the way very soon, probably this lap. Belichaks will be out of the way in the next lap or two. Albon and Maloney are going to be out a little bit longer. Oscar's not going to be out for too much longer either. Need to push the pace a little bit here with Isaac, get those tyres back up to temp. There we go, Sainz, Giovinazzi and Russell. Looks like everybody's one-stopping onto hard tyres. Behrman's going 2 more laps.
Okay, we need to push a bit more.
Copy.
Although I might actually try and keep him out as long as I can, so we don't have to do quite so much saving on the mediums. Try and keep him out for another 4 laps if we can. Frustrating Oscar now, he's getting antsy. He's hitting soon, he wants to push, try and get a really good in-lap. Max is past Albon already. Still think Max is favourite for the win here, but we've got a good chance of a double podium. It all depends on Oscar, I think. New fastest lap for Lando Norris, a 1:15.1. We will try and smash the fastest lap with Isaac when we box him onto a set of softs before we go back to looking after those tyres again. Just going to use little squirts of battery just to up the pace slightly, open up a slightly bigger gap for Behrman, for him to close back up in the DRS. Okay, we're going to try and extend by 2 laps. Just above the line on tyre wear for Isaac. And if we can extend his stint just an extra lap or 2, it will give us a little bit more wiggle room on the softs. We're going to come out way behind Max. There's no question of that. Probably going to come out behind Norris as well. And Joe. But we will have younger, quicker tyres. What are we doing lap time wise at the moment? And there goes Oscar. So it is medium tyres for Oscar. Maloney and Albon are in the pits as well. Oscar's going to come out behind Norris and Joe, I think. We held him up quite a bit. He might even get overtaken by Ocon here into turn 1. Not quite, but he's going to be vulnerable while those tyres are warming up. Although, actually, having said that, Ocon's tyres are pretty much dead. Ocon's going to box at the end of this lap, I think. So, Oscar's lost a couple of places. Meanwhile, we've built up a nice, healthy reserve of fuel with Behrman. Up the tyre pace now a little bit for Isaac. And this is important for 2 reasons. One, having the extra fuel means we can push the braking zones a little bit more, which will improve our pace. And also, it'll help keep the temperature of the tyres up by pushing the pace in the braking zones rather than pushing the tyres. So we should be able to keep the temperatures in an optimal window without having to turn them up.
Box.
Copy, Bob.
And there we go, we've got 2 extra laps out of that set of softs.
I think we need to start getting a little bit quicker.
Copy. Okay, we're coming now to the pit.
Yeah, copy that.
So we're going to come out probably behind Oscar, but in front of Ocon, who hasn't actually stopped. He'll be stopping this lap then. So we'll come out between Oscar and Mick. Oh, look at that. We almost got a sub 3 second stop, a 3.015. Pit crew training is finally starting to kick in. There goes Norris and Joe swapping places on the main straights. There goes Oscar. Ocon is in. There's Mick. So we want to get onto the back of Oscar nice and quickly. Tyres almost in the right window. We've opened up another half a second on Schumacher, I think. New fastest lap for Pierre Gasly, 1:15.0. And a personal best in the middle sector. Tyres just about to tick. There we go. Ticked into the optimal window. And I need to drop them down again in a minute. And the new personal best in the final, a purple in the final. 1:15.0. Oh, we nearly got the fastest lap without even pushing the tyres. That's pretty impressive. Right, Max has got the gap down to just 9 seconds over Isaac here. He is going to lose a lot of grounds by staying out long. But he will be very quick on a set of softs. We are closing on Oscar. Oscar is also closing quite easily on the back of Norris. Joe was a little bit quicker because he got the overtake in, so average a distance of 1:16.2. We're about 4 or 5 tenths quicker than the cars in front at the moment. Or Piastri is, sorry, and we're 8 tenths of a second quicker than Piastri on that last lap. Not so much this one because we turned the battery down. But we are closing. Yeah, there we go. Half a second to the cars in front for Oscar. We're a couple of tenths quicker. We are going to turn the tyres down now.
I need to overpush it.
Copy.
Let them cool down again while we've still got some fuel to burn. Isaac's almost got his battery back up to full. 2 more laps. He's got enough rubber for 2 more laps. That's good. Building a little bit of spare fuel as well. Schumacher is falling further and further behind. He doesn't seem to have much pace. It's not the case for Verstappen though. Gap's now just 6.5 seconds. He is flying onto the back of us. 1.5 seconds a lap. Gap will be down to about 3.5 seconds by the time we box. Leclerc is just about hanging on to points right now. There we go, pit stop confirmed. Let's see, Leclerc is being caught by Sainz and Albon. with fresher tyres as well, certainly in the case of Albon. So yeah, it doesn't look like Leclerc is going to get points tonight. Behrman dropping off the back of Oscar a little bit on that last lap. Still lapping quicker than the pair of Norris and Zhou though, so still in contention for a podium. There's Max. He really has closed that gap up. 4.5 seconds. It's going to be about 4 when he gets to the pit lane. There we go. So a lot of ground for Isaac to make up. But with soft tyres, he will be able to pump in some blisteringly fast lap times. Just not for very long. Oh, thought for a second we might get a good stop, but it's a 3.3. It's not good. Can we get out? No, we can't get out in front of Schumacher, but we will get out in front of Tsunoda. There is Yuki, just popping up in the background. So we're going to gradually bring these tyres in, then we're going to go for a flying lap, fastest lap attempt. And then just try and gradually move back up through the order without overstressing the tyres too much. And Piastri has caught Zhou and Norris now. Behrman's now nearly 3 seconds off the back. Not being caught by Schumacher. He kept Yuki just about at arm's length. He shouldn't get the DRS on the back of us. Watch that rear wing flap. Hasn't opened. And our tyres should be up to temperature before the lap ends. So we should theoretically start to pull away. We will be going into overdrive before the lap ends anyway. Oh, and Yuki's on a flyer right now. All right. Let's go for it. There goes Behrman's ERS. We knew that that was going to happen at some point. This is all about getting a fastest lap for Isaac. We actually got it on the preparation lap there, and obviously Tsunoda got the slipstream and is now getting the DRS. We might not get it if we can't break Yuki on this lap. Yuki's definitely going to have a purple first sector. Yeah, there it is. We go purple in the middle. Can we break Tsunoda? No, we can't. So this will be a fastest lap for Yuki. I think possibly. I don't know. It's going to be close. We might just pip it. We do. And we're on the back of Schumacher, so we'll have a rebuild. 113.4 versus 113.8. Okay, that should be safe. And we've now got Ollie onto the back of this 4-car train now for second place. Schumacher's upping his pace. And we couldn't get back into DRS, so we are potentially a little vulnerable to Yuki now. Get back in range. One 1:15.5 for Schumacher. Yeah, he's on a slightly slower lap this lap, going back down to his normal pace. So he was pushing about the same time as we were, just obviously not as effectively on hards against softs. We're now in the 116s, tucked up behind Norris, Joe and Piastri. And there's a 116.3 for Schumacher, so he has definitely slowed down. Get that move done. There we go, we're through. Now we should have enough pace to pull away eventually, but stay ahead of Schumacher.
Right then, we can take a look now. As they head round
we see
Piratella,
just
the gap
had
opens
the
up for them.
had the pace out of Tosa. Cut to Ollie. Tyres are slipping out of the window. We are saving some extra rubber, building that battery back up. Got a little bit of spare fuel. And we'll try and muscle our way through in a couple of laps. Oh, God damn it. I've just seen the score. There goes our title chance, I think. Oh, there is an opportunity here to jump Piastri. That's a little frustrating.
Not need to over push it.
We are definitely losing time. But if we check the tyres, tyres are in very good shape. Isaac is catching. And he is holding off Schumacher. Tyre wear for Isaac is okay. Tyre wear for Ollie is fine. More than fine at the moment. And there we see Oscar making a move on Norris. Let's see if we can follow up that. Let's give him a little bit of extra tyre just to get this move done. Oh, and Oscar's just punching through into second place. He's had enough of hanging around. He wants to get on with it. There we go, up the inside. So, 2 quick moves
Let's
there
see what
for
happened
Behrman.
there. Now this was the Alfa Romeo. They decide to give it a go.
First move done through the opening chicane. The second move done through the second chicane. Into Tosa. And now we'll keep punching just to get back onto Piastri again. Can we drop Joe in the process? That would be something. Not quite. Dropped him now though. If we can keep the gap, and we will have broken away. The jar is still closing in. 15.8. Tyres have dipped slightly. Just warm them up for a lap and let's break away if we can from Schumacher. Still a fair way to go in this race, and looking at Joe's tyres, he might be two-stopping. Which means our fastest lap is not safe, because if anyone stops the softs towards the end, they will just blitz that lap time. We might have just dropped Schumacher before the DRS. Let's keep an eye on the back of his car. Rear wing doesn't open, so we did drop him. Excellent stuff. Matching Verstappen for lap time at the moment. If he has to stop, we've got a chance of winning. I don't know if he's going to have to stop though. Got the gap down to just under 2 seconds and closing quite quickly with Isaac here. Need to get his battery recharged again so that we can push past and then break away. The plan will be to try and get Isaac in front of Behrman and then use Behrman's pace, Isaac's pace to pull Behrman along Get some extra fuel in Behrman's car as well. We definitely have a capable car right now. I'm going to drop the overtake aggression down. So I don't want to get the overtake, and I don't want to keep losing confidence for failing. Hajar now is inside DRS range. See Zhou and Norris going side by side. Fifteen laps to go. Behrman's probably good to actually make a move on Oscar at the end of this lap.
Try to get him. Get him.
I forgot to turn the overtake aggression up. That's why he didn't make the move at the start of the lap. Ah, that's annoying. Right, one bursting lap at this pace. See if we can drop him.
So let's take a look at the replay. Now this was the Alfa Romeo. Can they squeeze by?
Sweeps through. There we go. Can he get like 1 second gap over the rest of the lap? I can't really drive any slower than I am with Isaac, and he's still warming, trying to find a way through. Let's do the same, so we can get one of these into the last couple of corners. Nope. Up the inside. And up the inside again. No. Blocked at Tosa. But we'll get the launch here. And around the outside there at the top of the hill. Whew. Okay, we have broken away. Let's calm the tyres down again. Let's turn the battery down now. Next up is getting Hajar onto the Piastri. The double podium is on. go hunting down a world champion. Let's take a look at tyre wear. Both of our drivers have still got better numbers, which is good because they're going to degrade quicker if we turn them up to standard push rate. They've got enough temperature in those tyres to not have to do that for a while. Gap's now just 2 seconds. Gap is coming down. 7/10 of a second quicker on that last lap. We are losing a little bit of time to Max, but as I said, I didn't think we would have the pace to challenge Max tonight. But I'm very pleased with how well we're doing against everybody else. Behrman is not suffering that badly despite his ERS now having dipped into yellow, so we made the right call in that respect. Of course, we know that a lot of the cars on the grid tonight have got yellow engine parts or parts that were going to go yellow during the Grand Prix, so things could and probably will be very different at Monaco. We're probably going to see some new engine parts in some cars, maybe a lot of new engine parts in some cars. There might still be some yellow cars in Monaco, but come Barcelona, everyone's going to be rocking new engines, and we are probably going to be off the pace again. So we're just making hay while the sun shines at the moment, getting the maximum out of our current package before everyone else just blitzes away from us again. But we're on for another monster haul of points. Second and third tonight will be worth a whopping 33 points and an extra point on top for the fastest lap if we can keep it. Joe's going to do 10 laps on those tyres. I think he'll probably try and tough it out. If he does, then we are almost certainly safe on the fastest lap. Oh, Isaac's going for the move. He's not waiting at all. Did not expect him to go for that. What's his confidence level at? It's got to be pretty high. Yeah, almost full. Makes sense. He's had a couple of very quick overtakes. We should get the DRS, although it does look as though Oscar might be trying to up his pace a little bit. Yeah, he did a 1:15.1 last lap. He's on a bit of a push right now. Trying to close up to Ollie. Just make sure he doesn't get away from us. Max looks like he's pushing on this lap as well. The gap's suddenly gone up to 8.3 seconds. Oscar is absolutely flying on this lap. You can see just how much he's pulled away from us and how much he's closed in on Behrman. That's why I used the battery, just to stop him from getting the DRS. He's a coming. Once he stops pushing, I'm sure Isaac will close him down again. 1:15.3. Yeah, much quicker lap. Hopefully he slows down on this lap, because I can't defend that again. I haven't got the battery to do it. All the tyres in the right window. I don't really have enough time left to put them up just yet. Or do I? Probably get away with it.
So let's pick up the pace.
Yeah, copy.
Just trying. I couldn't break him. So we need to try and hold up Oscar if we can. So far, so good. Isaac is closing. Behrman's going to get through. Get past, sorry, here. Yeah, Oscar's through. It's okay. We can stay behind Oscar. Charge up, protect the tyres, and then jump both cars through. Potentially turn off battle assist now. Just kept in range. Piastri's pace should drop again. After this lap. Oh, hello, yellow flag. Who is that? What's it for? Is it going to bring out a VSC? It's
And
just
here
a
we've
spin.
got a yellow flag.
Peugeot. That could have thrown a real spanner in the works.
And not much that the team can do about that.
We're running out of laps, so a safety car now would be a disaster.
Try to pick up a bit more pace.
Copy.
Three laps to go. We're starting to run out of tyres. Have to get Behrman through on this lap so that we can get Hajar through on the next lap, or potentially the same lap, and then make sure that we can protect from Piastri. Should have left, or should have put Hajar in don't fight earlier. Ollie had to go defensively partway through the lap there. Two laps to go. Oh no! Exactly what I didn't want.
PSC. Follow you, Delta.
Oh no, Stroll's crashed at Tosa.
Right, let's follow the action now at turn 7.
Just another indication why Stroll
There,
does not deserve to be on the
moment
grid.
of impact, and the car leaving a bit of paint on
That's
that
a retirement.
barrier. And that's not what they would have had in mind when they woke up this morning.
And engine damage. And are we going to get in any chance to get the overtake in? We're going to have to go full on attack as soon as the VSC ends. And just pray that we can slip one, if not both of our cars through. At least we're going to have enough battery and enough rubber to go all out on attack. Probably going to have enough fuel as well for a full lap of pushing with Behrman, definitely with Isaac. Are we going to get any opportunity here? As we go into the final lap. Need that VSC to end. Need it to end, come on.
Last lap. Try to get him.
We are ready. Just need that to go green. Come on. Go green. Go green. Come on. Please. Please. It's got to go green now. It's got to go green now. We've lost the opportunity. Ah. That's it. Max wins as we knew he would, but we've now got no opportunity to get both cars on the podium. So frustrating. Ollie will make it. Hajar fourth with the extra point for fastest lap. That's still 26 points earned tonight. No, 28 points. 15 for second, 15 for third, 12 for fourth, and an extra point for the fastest lap. It's not the 34 that I was hoping we were going to get. But we'll take it. We will definitely take that. And it's another strong finish for Oscar. His title defense is starting to gain a bit of momentum. Leclerc does just hang on for another point. The VSC saved him there. Magnussen literally side by side there at the end. So not a total loss for Charles, but he's going to lose a huge amount of points in his lead.
Romeo driver.
This podium is something the whole team can be proud of. Excellent strategy and perfectly executed.
Pure elation there as the driver regroups with a team that worked so hard to see this moment. So then, Karun, in terms of the Alfa Romeo team, how will they be feeling after that?
They'll certainly be pleased to have made the podium. A job well done for sure.
And that's about it for our time here in Imola.
For the next Grand Prix, make sure you join us at the renowned city circuit of Monaco. Prepare yourselves for one of the most legendary rounds of the season.
So there we go then. Confirmation of the final result. It is a win for Max. Oscar in second. Behrman in third. Isaac in fourth with the fastest lap as well. Massive points scored tonight. That is glorious for us. Norris in fifth. Schumacher up 3 places to finish in sixth. Good race for Sonoda. Started 14th, finishes in 7th place. Joe hangs on to 8th. More points for Mercedes. Maloney gets himself into the top 10. Leclerc, that early collision with Porsche took him right out of contention. In the end, he finishes a long way back, but hangs on for the final point by a tenth of a second over Kevin Magnussen, who started in 20th tonight and almost got a point. Belichick's down in 12th ahead of Albon. Russell in 14th. Sainz down to 15th. Giovinazzi gained a couple of places as well into 16th. There's Porsche down in 17th. His race ruined with that lunge he made on Leclerc. Gasly down in 18th place. What a contrast for Gasly. He was our race winner, wasn't he, last time out? Or he was certainly in contention to win the race if he didn't actually get it in the end. And then just nowhere tonight. Ocon in 19th. Stroll, the only non-finisher. Let's see what that's done to the drivers' standings. Charles Leclerc retains his lead at the top of the standings, but only scores a point. Ollie in second has closed the gap by 14. He now sits 26 points behind Charles Leclerc. That is a win and fastest lap that separates the two. Very, very close. Oscar moves up into third place he has been on a bit of a tear in recent races, getting point after point. He is now just 9 points away from Ollie and 3 points ahead of Max, who jumps up 4 places. He's not had the best of starts, gets his maiden victory of the season. Joe down a couple of places in second by merit of only having a podium, not a win. That's why Max has jumped him. Norris moves up into 6th place ahead of Ocon. Gasly in 8th drops a couple of places as well. Schumacher climbs up into 9th place now with his 8 points. And Sainz drops down to 10th. Looking a little bit further down, you see Maloney in 11th place on 23 points. Isaac is now up into 12th place, also on 23 points. Yet to have a podium, but Maloney has had one, which is why Maloney is ahead. Pourchaire down into 13th, ahead of Russell, Magnussen. Tsunoda climbs a couple of places, up to 10 points now, jumping Giovinazzi and Albon. And it's still just Belisac and Stroll yet to score. And Stroll is struggling to finish at the moment, let alone score 2 DNFs this season now. In the Constructors' Championship, it's 150 points for Red Bull. McLaren in second, only gained 10 points. They are on 96. AlphaTauri with big points are now just 3 behind them. And we are just 2 points behind AlphaTauri. So it's a bit of a runaway for Red Bull at the moment, but it's very close between second and fourth. Just 5 points separating all 3 teams after 6 rounds. Mercedes are 5th. They pick up yet more points tonight. Aston Martin, no points but stay in 6th, although Haas have closed by 2 points to be within 2. Alpine in 8th. Williams are 9th, and Ferrari are still bottom in 10th. Have a look at the pit stop challenge. We were 0.4 of a second away today from getting on the leaderboard. His fastest stop is for Charles Leclerc's Red Bull, ahead of Norris's McLaren, Russell's Ferrari, then the 2 AlphaTauris of Schumacher and Piastri. They've got some good points there, 22 points. Red Bull will stretch their lead though. They scored 33 tonight. Let's see what the standings look like. Red Bull now on 187 are 60 points clear of AlphaTauri, who move into second place, 3 points ahead of Ferrari. McLaren are 1 away from triple digits. Mercedes a long way back in 5th on 24 points. Coming under pressure from Alpine, who scored 7 tonight, puts them just 3 behind. Haas on 10, Williams on 8, Aston on 5, and we are still yet to get off the mark. Maybe by the end of the year we might potentially be able to sneak a point, but I think we're going to need another race where pit stops happen in and around a red flag and we get our stopping just before a race gets stopped. That might be the only way we can actually score points this year. We are improving, but not quickly enough. There you see a 3.3 for Isaac, a 3.015 for Ollie. Definitely still a lot of work to do with our pit crew. Over a second slower than the quickest stop. Let's have a look at our driver report cards. Isaac starting in 3rd, finishing in 4th, 6 successful overtakes, 7 failed. Good defending, 12, 4, 3 against. That's not too bad at all. Ollie starting on pole, finishing in 3rd. Only 4 successful overtakes, 17 failed. But again, we were keeping him behind to charge up and save tyres. So I'm not looking at the failures in that respect. Good in defence as well, 11 successful defences, only 4 failed. So pretty solid work for both of our drivers. But we do know that Ollie does need to improve his overtaking. It's still in the 60s. So if he can get that up as much as possible over the course of the season, that will do him the power of good going forward. As far as the sponsors go, it's a very successful weekend. We made nearly 2 million tonight. So we got the finish position streak complete, which is nice. We also got the fastest lap, and we got both cars into Q3, so we achieved all of the incentives. And then we matched the guarantees. We got the finish position, 2 in the top 12, quali position of 2 in the top 12, and 2 in Q2, and then 2 in the top 12 there. So yeah, very, very successful evening financially tonight. We have a spare chassis at last. Okay. So, one spare chassis. Not bad. ERS in poor condition, we know about that. It's not too bad. Let's see, what did it drop down to in the end? 38.4%. We got through the weekend completely unscathed in terms of car parts. That's glorious. Been a while since that's happened. Christian Mansell has potential, apparently. How old is Mansell now? 23, and he's still only a 74 rated. Yeah, he's not going to make the grid. There you see the current order of the drivers. Max still the number 1 driver, ahead of George, then Charles Leclerc. Norris is number 4. Gasly's up to 5th. Stroll somehow is a P6, ahead of Oscar Piastri. That just makes no sense at all. Let's have a look at our inbox. So we intervened and it has paid off. That is good. That's going to sort out the morale situation a little bit quicker. There we go. Willie Nagel got the F2 win. Let's see, sneak peek at the weather for the next race. It's going to be wet on the Friday. Then a cloudy, partially sunny Saturday, and then a very sunny Sunday. Don't know whether to 1 stop or 2 stop at Monaco. We normally go with a 2 stop, but we've had a really good pit crew for the last few years, which has made that easy. We do not have a very good pit crew, so we are going to lose time every time we hit the pits. And there's still a good chance that we'll make a mistake in the pits as well. So maybe we have to think about the 1 stop. The higher temperatures will make it easier to keep the tyres in the window at lower paces. So there's that to think about. Yeah, we shall see tomorrow when we hit Monaco. Let's take a look at our current car development. The new front wing, the spare front wing will be ready in a day. That's good. We have got a new slot available. We've got the new suspension coming, so we are, I think, ready to start doing some research now. Or we could do a new rear wing. What would a new rear wing look like? We get a little bit of a boost to DRS and a little bit of a boost to high speed. Wouldn't really have any other impact. Is that worth 1.5 mil plus another 2 mil in production? Probably not at this stage. So let's go with a research project instead. So we are going to have an impact on downforce next season. Oh yeah, we voted for something else, didn't we? We voted for low speed, and we got overruled. Okay, definitely want to focus on improving the high speed. Go with 2 engineers on that. There we go. So that leaves us with 3.9 million to spend. Have we got new parts coming very soon? Got a new suspension coming in 3 days. Need to kind of get one of those into production before the next race. Am I building another underfloor? No, I'm not. I still don't have a spare underfloor. Is one of them at risk? Yes, it is. I might need to make another underfloor. 22 days plus manufacturing. So we're 30 days away from a new underfloor. Yeah, what we've got isn't going to last. Let's get one into production. That takes 0.5 mil away from us. Talking about 2, maybe 2.5 mil to play with. And that's too expensive. Can get that refurbed. I would like to improve it, but it's going to be a while before we have a spare 8 million. So let's go with the refurb on the race sim, and that leaves me enough money for the suspension. Is anything in here? Weather. Yeah, we'll wait on that. Let's check in with the board. Board now into high confidence. Delighted with another strong result. It's 4 of the 12 races down. We are a third of the way through our long-term objective in our first season, which is going a hell of a lot better than I thought it was going to go. Like I said, we've had 2 wins in 6 races, and we've had a podium on top of that as well. We no longer have a win or bust scenario for Ollie, but that's good. The likelihood of us getting lots of wins this season is going to diminish, I think, as the season progresses, especially when you consider where our facilities are compared to the rest of the grid. We've managed to start strong, helped by the fact that the grid's quite close, but that may change as the season progresses. So, let's see. Let's advance time. How many spare front wings do I have? 2. How long till we get another front wing? 26 days, 29 days for the first one. As long as we don't put it in the barrier, that should be enough to get us through. But we might have to make another one. We'll hold off as long as we can on that. Go. Suspension is done. Let's start building that. It's going to cost us only 300 grand. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought it cost more than that. Let's go ahead and put 4 into production, because it's going to be a while till we do another suspension, I think. It's not huge gains. Actually, let's just go with 3. Oh, and I forgot to put another part into research. I can get a chassis done. It's not going to be affected by the regs. Suspension is, but that's too expensive, as is the side pods. Yeah, let's get a chassis project going. Let's focus slightly on drag. Over cooling and airflow like that. Get 2 engineers on that. And there we go. Right. What a couple of races we've had. You know, there you see Ollie on the podium for tonight's Grand Prix, just behind, you know, two multiple world champions, one multiple world champion in Max, and a defending world champion in Oscar. That is very, very nice. And of course, we got the win ahead of Gasly and Piastri in Miami as well. Baku could have been so much better for us. And there we see the win ahead of the 2 McLarens in Jeddah and nowhere near the points in Bahrain. Yeah, it's been an all or nothing kind of season for us so far. We've either done really, really well or really, really bad. So, how are we going to do at Monaco? Overtaking is definitely going to be very tricky for Ollie, because of his low overtaking stat. I'm expecting some teams to bring new engines, or certainly new engine parts for Monaco. Chance of a safety car, high probability that one of our drivers might put it in the wall. Really hope that's not the case. It could be another all or nothing weekend. I mean, we might just be caught up in someone else's mistake, but we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. We are looking so good at this early stage in the season. 4th, just 5 points off of 2nd. McLaren, just 2 points off of the defending Constructors Champions in AlphaTauri, our former team, although we are 59 points behind Red Bull. And in the drivers' standings, it's looking pretty good as well. Ollie Behrman in 2nd place in the standings, and Isaac in 12th. Not too far away from the top 10, as you can see, just 5 points away from 10th place. We'll see how things go. We'll be back at the usual time tomorrow of 8 PM here in the UK. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's race. We will be back for Monaco tomorrow. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I will see you all for some more F1 Manager very soon.